YouTube turned on. I don't even have my lights on. What's going on here, Holly? So basically, my guest for tonight um, is ill. So I decided I will just go ahead and start without her since I don't have a guest. Um, I've posted out a little bit, or if anybody joins in now, if anybody's interested in joining the conversation or the challenge of, sorry, my shorts are way too short for this. Okay, so since I don't have a guest that's going to tell us the things from, hey Barbara, how are you feeling? And Lindsay, do any of you guys want to be the guest tonight for showing us what you're going to list from your closet? My guest, Wendy's home. Yay. Okay. So Wendy is going to be joining us. Hello, Resell to Retire. All right. I love that. So I can take photos with my phone during, yes. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Wendy is like messaging me. So I'm going to have to grab you guys. Hello, Fresh. My phone is possessed. Okay, so we're gonna tell Wendy real quick. Um, yeah. Sorry, I'm telling her. Mack truck ran you over. No, I think that was the doctor. Are you all right? Are you doing okay? Sorry, I'm letting Wendy know who's going to be our new impromptu guest. Here's my pad for YouTube. StreamYard. So what do you guys think about the new legislation coming down? Lindsay, we're talking to Barbara. Barbara had surgery on Friday. And like Amber says there, we are definitely hoping that she is still taking it easy. She better be. Sorry, I can't talk and type at the same time. What is wrong with me? Okay. Hopefully that works. Okay, so I'm sorry, guys. Okay, hi, Restart to Retire. You're all set. Okay, so I'm actually gonna lift this up a little bit so I can put my legs up. All right, so new law that has come in to effect for next year. So it's not actually going to be starting and affecting your taxes for this year, which you do, next year by April. But starting next year, everyone making at least $600 with no number of sales limitation will get a 1099K from all of the selling platforms that you're selling on. Now, for a lot of us, that would be a good thing because it'll actually have, like all of our sales on there. We can double check and make sure, that things that were canceled or whatever have been removed from that. I mean, we're basically going to know what should be on that 1099 from our sales report at the end of the month. The problem comes mainly for the people that are just selling out of their closet. And that's going to be a lot of the newer people. And even for us, because a lot of us, we started out selling stuff out of our closets. So we probably still are doing that, or we'll buy something to wear for us, but then it doesn't fit or we don't like it and we decide to sell it. It's going to be so much more important for us because we are resellers to make sure that we're keeping those receipts for everything you buy. So I was actually thinking about getting one of the little receipt copier things so you don't have to keep them. You don't have to worry about the ink going blank or whatever. You could also take pictures of them anytime you buy something that you might possibly sell at some point. You need to make sure you're keeping those receipts somehow, some way. So that way, when you do sell it and you have this 1099 saying you sold this much money, you can say, okay, that cost me this much. It was a personal item. I sold it for less than what um I sold it for less than what I paid for it. So I didn't make money. So we're gonna do that. Um Wendy's telling me that she has to cook. Just call her as long as you want. As long as you want, Wendy. Okay, sorry. I'm like, okay. Whoa. Did I just lose the whole chat? Wait. No. What the heck? Okay. I've just lost the chat, guys. What happened? Oh, it went into private chat. Okay. I don't want to turn off. Okay. Sorry. All right. Deborah Anderson, can't stay for long, but I'm in awe of my listing goal of 3 items this week. I never came close to taking 100 photos in a day. Okay, I'm going to tell you the secret. First of all, do like items. If you're doing something, I'm sorry, Instagram people, I just totally forgot that I was typing and um okay, sorry. Sorry, Instagram. All right. So, the current law is that, and Barbara says that she's trying to purchase only off of her resale credit card. So that's another good thing too. Do you have a separate bank account so you can show like all of these purchases are for this, all the money coming in is for this. Those are things definitely to think about. Lindsay says every year she sells 10 to 15K of her and her husband's personal items, mostly designer, from her previous career life, and the CPA has always deducted it from our sales. And that's, very important. Make sure that you have those receipts, or even if you can show your credit card action, like Barbara says, that she has a specific credit card that's just that credit card is what she uses for her resale purchases. Lindsay says, I guess I will no longer sell my personal items moving forward. Okay, and that's the problem. She says it's no big deal. Each year I have less and less to sell. Okay, and that's where this $600 limit is going to become a problem. This is someone who's bringing in $10,000 to $15,000 a year that she can now use in, Lindsay, we're talking about you. So Lindsay was bringing in 10 to 15,000 of personal use items being sold. Under the law currently, you don't get a 1099K until you're at $20,000 and 200 plus sales. So minimum of 200 sales, 20K. That's where you're at permanent. Now, okay, so Lindsay says she's always had a separate business account and credit card. I keep every receipt and track everything. So that's going to make it very easy, a lot easier for you going forward. But then as far as your personal items, if you don't have receipts, because obviously they were from your life before, something that will be able to help, especially if they're designs that have a date. So you can show that I was working in this job that required this type of clothing at that time, and that's what I'm selling now because I'm no longer in that position. That can possibly be if you get audited. That's the main thing, is that we're looking at, if you get audited, what do you have to back up your claims of personal use items when they're sold, if they don't make money or not. So right now it's a lot easier because a lot of us, like I said, we started by selling stuff out of our closets. So, but for me, I mean, I use the little the hidden areas on Poshmark and now Vendoo. I put it in Vendoo too in the comments. If something's from my closet, I put my closet. But what I had been doing is putting zero for the dollars because I didn't buy that. I already had it. But I did pay for it at one point. So when I sell it, now that I'm in the area where I'm going to need to report all this, because before I wasn't making enough to have to report it. But now that I am going back and showing that, okay, all of these items, here's pictures of my closet, before I started selling, kind of thing. And Lindsay also said that she pays quarterly taxes on her sales and has a separate eBay and Posh closet for her personal. So that's good to know. So she's keeping it separate. She has one account that's just selling her personal items and one account that's selling the items that she's bought specifically to resell. So that's an option. Unfortunately, we're going to have to get Posh to approve everybody to have two separate closets, maybe, if you're going to do that, because I think you're not supposed to have two closets on Posh without permission. So I don't know. Another area that this could really affect people is, I've noticed there's a lot of people that are setting up accounts for their kids using their birth dates, because Posh does not allow accounts for minors. And by minors, it is specifically says in their item that you have to be the age of majority for the state you live in. For most of them, okay, so she says the second closet's in her husband's name. So, it is two separate closets, two separate people. So that's not an issue. It's like when you're one person. I know, like, you can also do like a combined closet. So like I have a closet, my friend Lori has a closet, and then we were going to take like our seconds and stuff that had stains and stuff and do tie dyeing and paint them and do, like some funky stuff. And then that would be in its own closet. So now with the new rules, though, we've really got to look and make sure that all of our stuff is separate. And because we were bringing in stuff from things that we bought that were damaged and kind of thrown together, so that kind of affects that as well. But the one of the ones that I think is going to be the biggest issue is that there's two different age things you've got going on here. Yes, a child can make money. They do have to report it. In some cases, they report it as part of the parent's income. But every state has a different requirement for work permits, allowable hours. Child labor laws are very different in different states. And I'm very sure that that's the reason why Posh has put in the majority. That's different than the working age. Majority means you can you can leave home, you can go buy stuff, you can sign contracts, you are legally an adult. You're not legally an adult at 12 years old. Some states maybe 16. You have to look. Age of majority is different than the age that a child can legally work in a state. The reason why, and this is an assumption, but based on having worked in the field for a long time of employment, um, if Posh allowed children to put to have an account based on the work age allowed by a state, that would also require Posh to fulfill and ensure that all of the laws for those states, as far as child labor laws, work permits, all of that stuff is done correctly. They don't want to have lawyers for every state making sure that, like New York and California, they have really strong work permit laws, and a lot of that is because of the entertainment industry. SAG has some really good safeguards for kids. They have to have a tutor, they have to have so many hours of school, they have to have so many hours of break, they can only work so many hours, they have to be fed, all these things that protect a child to make sure that if they're working, it's a safe environment, they're getting their education, all of those things. Well, that's SAG. If you're looking in those same states, they have people that are just doing stuff, guerrilla tactics, whatever, and they're not SAG, so they don't have to follow SAG rules. They were just like, hey, we're going to do whatever we want. Well, the state wanted to make sure that everybody's following those same rules. So they've actually mandated child permit, work permits pretty much meet the same requirements as entertainer permits to make sure that if a kid's working, they're getting their education, their money is being put into specific bank accounts that are just for them, and they can't be, like the parent can't remove stuff from it. So if Posh said, okay, yeah, whatever kids 13 and over can have Posh closets. Now they got to worry about making sure that all of those laws are being met in all of those different states. So please, if you have your kids set up with a Posh closet and you lied about the age when you did it, this new 1099K law is gonna be a problem. So you need to make adjustments now. Um, Either make it a full account for you that, like the side account where it's you and your child, it's kind of thing. So Posh won't be like, oh, you got two accounts. Um, just say, hey, I'm running this for my kid. But understand now you're going to get two 1099Ks for both of those accounts. And now you're putting your child at risk of getting an audit, or you getting in trouble for working your child. There's a lot of stuff that's going to get involved with that. I think me personally, I've had a child that actually worked, um, I think he actually started working at 5. So he has, stocks and stuff like that from when he was doing acting and modeling as a kid. So we've already had to go through those hoops of getting child permits, work permits, even when he did a movie that he wasn't even paid for, and we still had to have the work permit for that. They still had to provide him a tutor. All of those same laws had to be met, even though he wasn't getting a paycheck from it. So, um, those are like really important things to think about now before it starts going into effect. What are you going to do to make sure you have all of your receipts? Even when you buy something personal, if there's a chance you might save it, you need to be saving that receipt somehow. Either taking a picture of it, have a file folder that you put all your receipts in. Maybe you categorize them by my clothes, hubby's clothes, kid one's clothes, kids two clothes. Those things are going to be very, very important. A lot of people that are already at the level that they're making 20 grand, they're not sweating it. They've already been doing it. They've already had their 1099Ks coming. But for a lot of us that are new and that are just starting, we hadn't reached that level yet. So this is going to become a concern. Like Lindsay said, that's the biggest concern for me, is people saying, I'm just not going to sell any more of my personal stuff because of this law, because of this new thing. And that's not good, because a lot of us are in this for sustainability, wanting to make sure that clothes are being recycled, things are being done. Fast fashion isn't just going into a landfill or being sent to another country to build mountains there of garbage. So if you really want to make sure that we're keeping people like Lindsay selling their items, we need to try and figure out a way maybe to contact our representatives and say, look, dropping to $600 is going to seriously impact, and especially because they want to do the Green Deal and all of that. Well, having more people just go, it's too much of a bother, I'm just going to toss this out rather than try and sell it to get some money to spend towards something else. You want green, you want people recycling, reusing, and all of that. Well, then you need to change this and bump this 1099, maybe back to 10K. At least, that would be a little more reasonable than $600 and no sale limit. So we definitely need to make sure that all of our I's are dotted and T's are crossed and everybody's got their stuff together, even when you're just starting out. Now, the other thing too is deciding now whether you want to continue to be a hobby or a business, full-time, part-time. The full-time, part-time stuff really isn't going to come into play anymore. The biggest thing now is going to be, are you a hobbyist or are you a business? And with that, when you get this 1099, you're going to have to show now your cost of goods, your cost of sales. Your cost of goods is not your only expense that you're going to be able to reduce that sells. They send you a 1099, all it's got is how much money you made. It doesn't have anything about how much you paid for stuff, none of that. So you need to have all of the fees that you've paid, all the shipping discounts you've paid. From what I understand, is they're actually adding shipping onto your sales. So if you're selling and giving a shipping discount where you're paying for part of shipping, or no, it's where they're adding in the total cost that the customer's paying, the good and the shipping. So now you've also got to put in that, okay, this much of what they paid is for shipping. I didn't get any of that. So that needs to come off of that sales. I'm not positive on if that's real or not. That's just something that has been put out there that someone has said that Poshmark said that they were going to put total of sales, including shipping, which they shouldn't because that's we're not getting anything from that. So it really that's going to add another layer of drama. Just keep in mind, you know how much shipping costs. If you're doing shipping discounts, you may want to flag like your sales and make sure that you've got that on there. Okay, this one I gave a shipping discount, so I'm only reducing my sales by, $5.99 or yeah, $5.99 instead of $7.50, whatever it is. So those are things to think about too. You want to start taking into account, and people that are doing more and maybe have been in business before are probably already doing this. But if you're using a set amount of space within your home is designated for your business, that space, the cost of the electricity for your home, you're going to measure that out. You're going to figure out the percentage that item is. Okay, Lindsay says on eBay, shipping paid by the buyer is counted towards my sales. Hence, I pay taxes on shipping. I do, however, deduct my shipping costs at the end of the year. Basically, it's a wash. So that's kind of what I was saying is that they're going to add it to your sales amount, but then you're going to subtract it as an expense. I'm in a room right now that's 10 by 13. This is used as a guest room occasionally, which it's usually just me going in here and me giving my room. For 98% of the time, it's used for doing these videos, and I have a lot of my higher end items up here that are things that I have up here that I've videoed that I still need to take downstairs. So this room is, at this point, it's designated 98% work use. So if my house is, I think it's like 28 by 48 or something like that, long, up and long. I have this 10 by 13 room, and then I have a room and a half downstairs, one that's it's like 30 by 13. So 30 by 13 downstairs that I'm using for storage workroom, and then this 10 by 13. So I measure the entire, what's the square footage of the house, divide it, get my percentage of the house that's being used for work. I also have had to add dehumidifiers and air conditioners to my rooms downstairs because I live in Florida, and humidity will destroy and heat will destroy your product if you don't take care of it. Lindsay says that the Posh sales report does have a separate column that shows the shipping discounts, so that's going to help you. So I actually have a really good show because I have my normal electric bill that I've pretty much had for 7 years now shows, and then it shows the difference from pre the Poshtopia downstairs to now, where I've got 2 air conditioners and 3 dehumidifiers added to my electric bill. And that right now I've probably jumped like almost $100 a month on my electric bill. So that's definitely something that now I can start having that written off. Actually, my son, it's his business. He can write that off, as well as You've got your internet. We use our internet to be able to communicate, do shelves. We have to have the internet to be able to go onto the platforms. For even your tools that you use to do the business, those monthly bills for your like if you use Vendoo or a virtual assistant, all of those things are also now expenses you can reduce. Biggest thing to consider when you're deciding whether you're a hobby or a business, because when we start out, we're probably going to show losses just because we are spending a lot of money to get resources and things that you need, tools, stuff for fixing stuff, stuff for cleaning stuff, your equipment and all of that. Those things are going to put you at a loss. So you show your loss. Most of the time, you just start something out, you're going to be considered a hobby because you're not really in business yet. And a lot of that is a lot of part timers really could be hobbyists. So the thing that being a hobby versus being a business helps you is you don't have to pay self employment tax. And I think it's like 13.5% or maybe 15.3. I have to look that back up. If you've got a hobby, you don't have to pay self-employment tax, but you also cannot write off your losses. Being a business, you can write off your losses, but you're also going to have to pay self-employment tax. Keep that in mind. A lot of people don't know that, and it can get you in the end. The good thing about paying self-employment tax is now, if pandemic happens, everything shuts down. You can't get any stuff in. Like ThredUp is closed. Everything's closed. There's no way for you to get any new inventory. You're pretty much at a standstill. You're shut down, or you're extremely reduced in what you can do. You can now apply, because you've been paying self-employment tax. That covers also that's kind of going towards the employment programs that are available. So if you get in a situation now where you're shut down, you've had to quit, any of those things happen, you can now apply for benefits. It's similar to benefits for unemployment. It's a little different for self-employment, but somebody's trying to start a room with me. Don't know. Um, so those are things to think about. Are you a hobby or are you a business? Pay the self-employment tax. Learn and know what your rights are when you are considered a business. Get tax experts. I've seen a couple people posting that they're like Fiverr people, so it's like people from other countries that are trying to do your taxes. I personally feel that that's a really bad idea. Um, it's opening you up to identity theft. It's opening you up to somebody who doesn't really understand U.S. tax law, trying to do stuff. I have a degree in accounting. I also have a master's in international economics and marketing, and I don't do my taxes myself. My accounting degree, we do we do all of the stuff in the degree program, but I mainly focused on with my electives and stuff. Um, Managerial accounting, so like business accounting, cost accounting, that kind of thing. So I don't do taxes. The other stuff I'm good, like figuring out my costs for items, that I can do. figure out how much time is spent on things. What are you paying yourself? Are you paying yourself a set salary? That's something to think about too with 1099 for all is are when you're putting your expenses down, are you putting down an expense for your time? You're working. You're working for that business. You should have an income from that business, and that's reduced from the business itself, like as a separate entity. Are you set up as an LLC, limited liability corporation? Are you set up as a corporation, uh, or a private enterprise? Look at those things. Maybe talk to a business accountant or lawyer in your area. See what works best for you. Do you want to incorporate? Do you want to be an LLC? Do you just want to be a private citizen working under my social security number? What works best for you? What's going to be the best benefit for you for the cost that it comes up? So nobody's talking. Lindsay gave us some really good information along the way here. What are some things you guys think about this new 1099K? Or should we move on and talk about the new Posh? And it's kind of just rumors kind of around that Poshmark is planning to set up like a new level, sort of like eBay has like the pro sellers and stuff like that. Like you have different levels based on how much you sell and those kinds of things. Well, what they've been talking about is that for business sellers, you're going to be at a different level. You have to like make so much in sales and things like that. But then as a business seller, you're able then, like when there's a party, like during the parties, instead of having to go through and share all of your things that fit that party, you're supposed to be able to do a one button share. So supposedly, according to the rumors, that would be one of the benefits, is that parties, you can just hit one button. It's going to share all of your items that fit that party. That would be great. I think all of us would really appreciate that, and it wouldn't be a burden. Um, there was there was like a couple things too that they were talking about doing that are similar to things that we get through, like I use Vendu and Closet Tools, and like being able to do a everything. I want to drop everything 10%. It's closet clear out, make everything 10%. And it's supposed to do that. So I don't know. There's a rumors. Has anybody else heard some other stuff? I know there was a big to do earlier this week that Poshmark made the, like when somebody does a search, it was automatically based on just shared, and it was changed to relevance, and then I guess changed back after some people like lost their minds over that. um I, I mean, it's really, honestly, it's a double-edged sword on that. And it's, if I've got to share, then obviously I want my stuff I just shared at the top of that search list. But I'm also of the mind that if I've spent so much time putting in SEO words, looking up really good descriptions, trying to be extremely thorough in my descriptions so that when somebody's looking for something, I should be coming up. Well, unless I shared that item right away, under just shared, I'm not always going to be at the top of the list, even though I may be the best match. So there's actually good for both sides. If you're sharing because that's the only way you're getting to the top of the list, then obviously you're going to want share to be the most important thing that's used when somebody's searching for something. If you're spending a lot of time building up your SEO, your tag words, now there's a spot for you to put in tag words, keywords kind of thing in a separate thing, as well as putting that in your description. If you spent all that time making sure you're doing research and you're getting everything you possibly can in there, and you're still showing up at the bottom because you only share once a day, that's a bad side too. So I don't know. It seems like most people wanted it to stay just shared. I personally, I would like relevance just because I do try and spend that extra time and energy in making my descriptions fit all the keywords that someone would be searching for. So what do you guys think? What do you feel like is probably the best way for searching to impact your business positively? Sharing as it is, it's like that's the big drama that everyone hates about Posh. It's kind of a pain in the butt, and all it's really doing right now, obviously, is pushing you higher on that search target. But there's people like Barbara Babash who don't share. Oh, and I got this cup from the live sale on Instagram from a reseller's passion, Leslie. So cheers. Good stuff. Okay, so it's Deep Eddy iced tea or sweet tea, Deep Eddy sweet tea vodka, and Deep Eddy peach vodka with some sweet tea. It tastes like summer, guys. And if you saw what I've been doing down in the workroom, I deserve that. So I still have to get a lot done, but at least soon I'll be able to get some pictures going. Wendy's here. She says she doesn't share much, but then again, she doesn't give any sales these days. But she's out there delivering our sales. Wendy, if you want to come in, just click on that link I sent you, and it'll bring you into the backstage area for StreamYard, and then I will add you to the stream. We're so excited to have Miss Wendy. She put makeup on today, so I said she needed to be on. How is that? Are people seeing, like, I know I saw I had like probably my best week ever last week. I made like $1,000 last week. And the majority of it was 14 sales I made in one day because I did a surprise secret 30% off. So what I did is I went in, I did a 30% offer to likers for everything that was already liked, and then I set up to have auto. Here's Wendy, and we're adding to the stream. Hi, Wendy. Here. And you got your makeup on and looking cute.
It probably looks bad by now.
No, it looks really good. You look really young too. Look like a little kid. Lindsay says that she shares 4 to 5 times a day and has 800 active listings in her main closet. Many times only have 20 or less notifications, which is extremely discouraging. And that's the other side of sharing. Like, you have a job that you are not able to share all day long. So how does sharing impact you?
Well, I had a sharing service, but it got too expensive when I wasn't listing stuff like I should have been. So I couldn't justify it anymore, so I got rid of it.
Yeah. And have you seen a change in your sales because of it?
Yeah.
What about having the kid? Pay the kid to do your shares for you.
I've hired and fired her at least twice already.
That's hilarious. It's like, you've been hired. No, you failed. But
She wants the money, but she doesn't want to work for it. So.
unfortunately, isn't that kids today? Mine works at the jail, and he's like, I don't see him until his weekend is Monday and Tuesday. The rest of the week, it's like, comes in, goes in his room. I don't see him again until Monday or Tuesday when he's off.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what do you think of some of the changes, like as far as the 1099K, having to be only $600, and you're going to get 1099K from each of your selling platforms?
That doesn't bother me because I have a hard time keeping up with my tax stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So right now, actually, I should be doing my taxes. I did something that I don't normally do this year. Well, I did it last year, and my tax accountant failed to tell me I did something wrong
Oh, no.
because she was new to us and she probably doesn't know what she's doing anyway. So now I have to go back and refigure a lot of stuff. So
No.
I miss my old tax person.
Yeah, honestly, and I do, like I said before, I do have a degree in accounting, so maybe that makes it a little easier. But I use TurboTax.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good interface that it has. You do have to pay a little more for the business edition, but I think for someone that maybe doesn't have enough sales or things going on to warrant having to pay an accountant, it might be a good option. Lindsay says she's wondering, does the relevance go by the tag word specifically or by title and description? We don't know, Lindsay. That was just the beginning of the week. It changed over from recently shared to relevance, and then it turned off. So,
well, I noticed you also can't, when you search, you know how usually you search and then you click on women, men, children's home. That's completely gone as well.
oh no, I did not
Mhm.
see that.
So when you search, it's searching all of the different categories.
Okay, because when I was searching yesterday for some stuff, it was like it started out like in all, and then in gray it would have, like, if I was typing something that seemed like it was women's stuff, it would be in gray. It would say in women's, but you would have to go down and click that as part of the drop down. But I only changed it like once or twice. For the most part, I just let it search and all, because you never know. Sometimes people will take turn. Like, I've done that before, where something could be unisex, and some people will post it in both. I can't do that because I would freak out. I would end up having both of them up there forever. So I would trade them back and forth. So I think looking at all, sometimes you're going to find stuff that was maybe unisex and put in a different section. Do you ever do, like, I know a lot of times you'll get an extra large kids item that could be like a small women's.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever like add that in your details or anything if you have something like that?
Well, right now I have a pair of men's shoes, but Poshmark doesn't have that small of size for men's. I think it's like a men's 6. So I've listed it under women's like 8 or something. I
Yeah.
don't remember. It's the TUK shoes.
Okay, yeah, I've had that happen once before, and I'm thinking I went into kids. I think I had to go into kids to be able to put that size. It was crazy.
I
So
can wear some kids' shoes, so I mean, it wouldn't bother me.
I wish I could. I have gigantic feet for as short as I am. It's like that Neanderthal in me.
Yeah, I can wear anywhere from like a 6.5 to 7.5, depending. But the kids, when they're like 4.5, 5, I mean, I'm like, sometimes they have cuter shoes than I do.
Not fair.
Hmm.
Yeah, I hate that when I find stuff that's cuter. So do you have like any goals set for, I mean, we're coming up on the end of April,
Hmm.
but do you start to set up like at the end of one month, do you start setting up for your next month? Like, okay, this is how I did this month, but this is what I'm going to change, and this is what I'm going for next
I'm
month.
terrible. Like, I'm probably the worst reseller that you can know.
Oh, I know
I don't have
you.
any routine. I don't have any goals for the most part. I'd be lucky, to get something listed a day just because I work so much.
Right.
So I was really excited that when I went to Goodwill today because a local boutique, the boutique was called Hey Heifer. They donated a whole bunch of stuff. I guess that wouldn't sell or that they had on sale. I don't know, but they donated a bunch of sales. They're sweaters, but I bought several of the same kind, just in different sizes. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. Like, I would probably benefit from doing like boutique items just because you list one thing and you sell. You don't have to keep
Right.
listing. In fact, I have a shirt. I have a shirt in my closet that's probably my best selling thing. It's a I love someone with autism t-shirt.
Oh,
Back when I lived in North Carolina, I had like found, oh God, dozens and dozens of this t-shirt. So
wow.
I've sold quite a few. I mean, I don't sell them for much, like $13 to
I need
$15.
to check your closet because I have two friends that have children
Mhm.
with autism. They would
They're
love.
all one size. It's all size large. So, but it fits
Yeah,
pretty
no,
tight for
like
large.
do you sell off Posh too? Like if I needed something mailed
Oh
to
yeah,
a
I just
different
recently started
address.
selling on Instagram. I did
Okay.
that live sale or whatever last Sunday. So
How do those go? Because I got this week from Leslie's.
I know I watched
Uh,
you buying all the tumblers. Didn't you get like 3?
Two.
2? Oh.
I got two. I was trying. So like this one, I got this dark one for my tea, which is
Mhm.
actually alcoholic tea. And then I forgot what the other color is, and I think I was thinking of using it for a different alcohol. But she still had the orange one. I'm like,
Yeah.
somebody that likes
She
mimosa.
was trying to talk you into buying the orange one.
No, that's a mimosa color. I don't do champagne, so I was trying to get somebody whoever likes mimosas should get it. Amber Curious, which is our friend Amber, says that she's the worst reseller she knows. And then she's listed like 7 whole things in April.
Well, that's why I started doing the live sales because I don't have time to list. Shipping is not a problem because most of the time I just print the labels and I take them with me to work and I get them ready while I'm on break. So if people don't know, I work at the post office. So it makes it easy to drop off my packages every day.
Oh man, I need to go. Come on. I got a post office box. Sorry, my dog is like trying to come up here because I'm laughing, and that means that I need to pay attention to him. Um, I got a post office box just because I was kind of thinking of doing the dirty shoes, like police. I'm like, dude, if it's
Like Alicia, do you?
yes, because like you get these, especially in the like thread up shoe boxes when they send you like the totally hooker shoes and they're dirty. It's like I clean these up. I'm still only get like
If that's the worst thing Poshmark you could find on Poshmark, you'd be doing good. I ran across a listing. I was in a Facebook group and they pointed it out, but this person, I'm not going to go into details. They sell used underwear and they like, no, it's a guy and they, So I'm like,
I've
okay, more
seen
power
that,
to you.
and
That's
like you
gross.
post of them, and it's like you'll be close to me, kind of thing. I remember seeing this, but it's funny because I actually had this robe, and I thought it was like an athletic wear little kind of robe shrug, and so I've got it listed and everything, and I go to look it up because it had a website in there, and it's like all dudes, like ass out stuff. So it was like a fantasy wear
Mhm.
for guys, and I actually sold it to a guy for like $40 or something. It was crazy, but it was like, naughty stuff sells
Mhm.
way more
Yeah.
than you can sell it as a regular item. If
Like
that
she
hadn't,
said to use the terms like smelly and stinky and stripper heels if they have high
but I use that for like regular shoes.
stripper heels.
Mm. Sorry, I need this after being. I trapped myself in my workroom today because I've been trying to clear it out so I can actually get to my light box and start taking pictures. And then you basically end up shoving everything from one side of the room to the other. And it's like, okay, that's the door.
Yeah, my
I
room.
can't get to the door.
Well, I had all this cleared, this whole area cleared. I have these like mirrors on the closet. So I've been like playing dress up, and like wearing some of the clothes, which has worked out, by the way. I probably have a sale on that Bob Mackie shirt
Oh,
that I wore, the really vibrant one.
yeah.
But I had this all clear, so it looked good. And you couldn't see my mess. And then we started getting stuff ready for the live sales. And so I'm planning the different themes and everything. And I have like 3 full racks that are just in my space. And so I'm like, I can't do my pictures anymore.
Oh. So now you just gotta. How do you do? Like, I mean, did you do like a lot of advertising? How did you let know
I
your?
did a preview of some of the stuff that I was selling. Like I did a live video, like that was my first live. Well, no, that wasn't my first live. My first live was a small haul just to see if I knew how to do a live. But I did a sneak peek of one of the racks. I didn't know what everybody wanted to see. So I showed some stuff. Like like I had a Johnny Was top and some Free People stuff. And then I just kind of posted a countdown, and posted like something in my stories, So, but we did it on Sunday, and there was a lot of people that were doing their lives at that same time, which, I thought 4 o'clock, that's probably not a very popular time. But then it seems like everybody wanted to do it at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or whatever. We ended up being on there for like 3 hours, just like goofing around or whatever. But I only got 3 sales, which is fine. And then I gave away 2 things. But, those people probably will come back, for the next one. So
Yeah, I know.
you sold way more than I did.
I think what's her face? Help me, Leslie. Leslie pretty much. I think there was only like one thing. What are you smelling? My dog is like going inside insane, smelling this bin of shoes. It's like, I don't know. I guess there's something really good in this shoe bin. I need to investigate because he's going crazy. Um, yeah, Leslie only seemed to have not sold like 2 things from
Yeah,
her.
well, she's
So,
pricing them really good, and that's probably where I went wrong is I priced I'd rather ship priority because
right,
I see what happens, things do get lost. I don't really want to put myself in that position to where, I do lose an item, but I ended up still shipping first class, and if the item was worth so much, I shipped it with insurance. So even like a top was still only 5 something with insurance when I shipped through PayPal. So it wasn't bad.
right. But you
So
got it like I didn't realize at first that she was including shipping
mhm.
when she was saying her
Super
prices.
cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah, she just is getting rid of stuff because she's moving. She doesn't want to take it with her. So
Yeah.
that really is not her business model, but I'd like to eventually make that mine. So I've got to find that happy medium with the pricing and everything. So
Well, could you do, because I saw one other person that was doing them that looked like that would be like a really cool plan. What they did is they had people pay for a specific size box,
mhm,
right? So, and then you're paying for 5 pounds of stuff, and it's like a set. Okay, 5 pound box, you're gonna pay $45. And we're gonna tell you, like, you can say mine as we're going through. You say mine, okay, we're putting that in your box. And they had like different sizes. So it's like you start out at $25 and you got like the small flat rate. And they just had different prices for the boxes.
mhm.
It was kind of like if it fit in the box for the weight, then you got it. It seems like a really good idea for maybe basic bread and butter stuff.
Yeah, stuff that you probably got at the bins or in a really cheap mystery box.
Exactly. So that seemed like a good way to do it if you're including shipping, is you're basically having the person pay for the box and then you let them go over multiple days. So it
Mhm.
was like they sent a message on Friday, okay, our sale Fridays this time to this time, pick your box, and if you don't fill it up by Friday, you can fill it up when we do our next sale on Sunday. So that's a good thing too
Or
if
they have
you're
like a whole week to fill it up if they hadn't already.
exactly. So that gives you more that gets more incentive for people to buy more.
It kind of reminds me like when I lived in North Carolina, they have this place called Replacements. They're the ones that buy the really expensive like dishes and stuff for super cheap and they sell it on their website or they take it and they reproduce it, if it's a really rare piece. Well, they would have these sales once a year in their parking lot, and you would buy a box for $5. It's a pretty big box, and you got to
Uh,
fill it up with as much dishes as you wanted to. So
oh
I've got all
wow.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah, way too many dishes. I don't have cabinets for the dishes I have. But I think too, like Leslie priced, for resellers to resell. So is that, how do you cross over from getting just resellers, which are going to come in at a much lower rate, to getting buyers, like personal use buyers, which are going to be a higher rate? And like trying to think about how to set up marketing and stuff for something like that. Are you kind of going straight for resellers, or are you looking for those personal use buyers?
I'd probably rather have the personal use buyers, which, you're going to find though with the resellers that, there may be things that they've looked for that they can't find. Like Sandra bought a Johnny Was top from me. I only sold it for like $25 shipped. It wasn't, like the best. There wasn't many flaws or anything like that, but it's still, I don't know. I paid not very much for it, so I could let it. Actually, I said $35, and then she asked me in the live, and if it was 20 or 25, and I said, "Oh yeah, 25," and then so I just honored it because whatever.
Quimby I just got my first ever Johnny Was in my
Mhm,
last 200-pound box, and it's like I was so excited. I thought it was a dress because it was
mhm.
long, and so I had posted on Instagram that I thought it was a dress, but it's like the whole front has embroidery, the sleeves have embroidery, there's embroidery across the back. So from what I understand, the more embroidery, the higher
Mhm.
desired.
And the more colorful it is as well. Like I have a black Johnny West top somewhere, and I know that's probably not going to sell as well as the colorful ones. Like I sold a black one with colorful embroidery for like $55 before.
Uh,
I mean, they sell for pretty well.
yeah, Quimby bought mine for 75
Hmm.
shipped. So And I shipped it priority because, like you said, you want to make sure it's insured and all of that. So I could have shipped it for 350 first class, but I decided to do the 850 or 880, whatever it was, for the priority, just to make sure if something happened, I've got
Mhm.
insurance covering it. So, and that, I think that's important. So, like, what kinds of things are you looking to try, and are you going to be compacting how much, like, your breadth of styles, or are you like kind of, I find everything, I sell anything?
I sell anything.
Same
Yeah,
here.
I sell
Well,
anything, any size, like I joke that like in my clubhouse little bio or whatever, I was like, I'll flip anything from breast milk bags to jock straps because I
all
will and I
right.
have like before the Salvation Army in North Carolina, they had a whole bunch of new in the box breast milk bags and like jock straps, and those jock straps I only sold them for like $7, I think, but
Yeah.
they like sold so fast. It's kind of it was like, okay,
Well, they're probably expensive. I mean, think about,
yeah,
it's like bras. Like, I have my my
gotta
la-
have that support.
my last two 200-pound thread up boxes. I've got a bunch of bras, like
Mhm.
new with tag. I've got some Spanx, and I do have underwear. I'm not so I guess if they can sell used underwear on Poshmark, I guess I can sell underwear that's tagged.
Yeah, I don't think you can sell used underwear on Poshmark, but they get away with it like it's modeled or whatever, like and then in the comments, in their little DMs that everybody can see. I mean, I don't know if you know, but everybody can read your
Private.
private bundle messages or whatever. Um they comment, like little with these little watermarks or whatever, I'm like, ooh.
You're special. And
I
see,
talk about anything. I don't care.
no, I meant the people were special.
Oh, I thought you said I'm special. I am a
Well,
little
you're
special.
special, but in a good way. I love you, Wendy. You're so awesome. I was so excited when we did our collab, although it kind of sucked at
It
first.
sucked. I hadn't done the Goodwill blue boxes in probably a good month or so. I hadn't ordered anything, just because I'm working during that time. But the last 3 boxes I think have been actually thread up boxes. Did you see my designer one?
No, oh wait, if that's the one you did as a collab, right?
Hmm.
3 people, yes, and nobody told me. I could have joined you.
Well, I just kind of like pushed myself in their direction. I'm like, hey, I got a designer box coming. I was so glad. They're so sweet. I was so glad that they collaborated with me because it ended up being so fun.
Yeah.
The most
I
traffic I've had to my channel in a long time.
Yeah, I love Victoria. She's awesome.
Mhm.
Who else was doing that with you? I know
Gorgeous and
Jess is cool.
Alicia from Murrayed Life. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so the crew. I want so bad to like go. I'm gonna use the excuse of going to visit my sister. I keep telling my sister she's a half sister. I keep telling her, hey, yeah, you need to go to your mom's house and I'll come up and visit, just so I can go up there and be like, hey, Alicia and Victoria, you guys want to do a Pensacola run? Because they do that every now and then. They'll go to Pensacola for to thrift up there, and I'd be like, I want to go and thrift with them. They're so fun. But I may actually. Where are you located?
I'm in Oklahoma. I work in Arkansas, but I live in Oklahoma.
Okay, so you're like kind of. Isn't that like a tri-state area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on the border of just Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Okay. Um, I may be going to. I may be going to New Jersey in July because my great aunt had some issues where she's elderly and this neighbor like was taking her to the bank and having her withdraw $10,000. Yeah, so my dad's going up there now to like kind of get her set up. She's got a social worker now that's trying to keep that situation from happening anymore. But basically we're gonna sell her house in New Jersey and she's moving in with my parents. So I'm probably going to go up July and stay in her house until we sell the house. And I want to stop along the way, like on the drive up and the drive home. I want to stop and like go thrifting with people, that we see online. I
Would
think
you say that was New Jersey?
yeah, and I'm in Florida, the very bottom of Florida, and she's in Perth Amboy, New Jersey.
What interstate would you be taking?
95 north.
So that goes through like
Pretty much all.
South Carolina. I mean, not South Carolina. Yeah.
Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Massachusetts. I'm trying to think if we hit. I don't know if it goes through Pennsylvania too, but I'll have to, like, part of that, I'll have to take my parents' luggage to Pennsylvania because my dad's flying his plane to Pennsylvania first for a vacation thing, and then he's going over to New Jersey to get my aunt. So it's kind of like going to be, I have to drive up, drop his stuff in Pennsylvania. I'll probably stay with my cousin in Newport News, Virginia for like a week, and then I'll be in New Jersey. But I figured I'll put my closet on vacation. So everything I have here will be not for sale, and I can thrift on my way up. And then I'm also trying to meet Carrie T. We're setting up to meet for maybe a thrift and lunch while I'm up there because she's Long Island, which is about 2.5 hours away. And I was like, that's nothing. I drive 3 hours to go to the Benz. So, but definitely, I want to meet people. Have you thought about ever doing like I don't know, like some people have talked about setting up where they're going to host, like, okay, everybody come, we're going to go to this Ben's together, kind of like the old Poshmark live events.
My closest Ben's are in Oklahoma City and Little Rock, so that's like 3 hours each way from me in opposite directions. But I right now I only get 1 day off, and it's still like rest because I'm usually working 12 hours a day. So
you kill it. You guys work so hard. We so appreciate. All the resellers appreciate you guys at the post office because seriously, we wouldn't have what we have if we didn't have the post office to help take care of us. So you are cool.
Not everybody thinks I'm cool. I get griped at and get called the B word, and I'm nice. I just, I don't tell them what they want to hear, what they're expecting to hear. So then they go off on me, and it's not fun.
Well, I've decided recently, like in the South, I don't know if you guys do this in Oklahoma too, because y'all are still kind of country. So we count you as part of us. Like if you tell somebody bless your heart, that really means.
I say that like 12 times a day. And yet, like this weekend, I like Hope from Max Riches, she was showing her shoe haul this morning. And I was like, she had a pair of shoes that I so want because I said that yesterday at least 5-6 times. It says, I can't. It's like a picture of an eye and can't. And I'm like, I can't. I just can't. Like I say all of the things.
Those are funny. I like Hope too. She's another one that's, been running ragged as a nurse out there. You guys.
Well, luckily though, she can run ragged like a couple days in a row, and then she's off the rest of the week, so she can recuperate. I feel like my 1 day a week is today, so I had all kinds of stuff that I needed to do, but I just really didn't. Me and my daughter took a trip to into town and we thrifted and went and ate and, just hung out because
That's
she's a teenager and she's been mad at me for not letting her do what she wants to do.
welcome to the world.
Mhm.
Yeah, teenagers like pretty much go from, you have the kids and they're young and they love you and you do stuff and they're like so happy. And then they become like, now it's gone down. I mean, like they start getting teenage attitude at like 11 now. I don't know what's up with that.
She had one at 5 years old when her brother was born. That's when hers started. So it just never let up. Look at this bag that I'm like taking pictures of. Wait, sorry.
Oh,
It is just a little, oh my
bag.
God. It's got like the golf tees and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like from like 1997 from some golf invitational. But
that's
it's adorable.
that's really cute. You're gonna do. I had I just sold it last week when I had the big 14 sales. It's a little embroidered golf bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's like got like golf stuff on it, and it was like perfect little crossbody for when you're on the tees. And
Mm-hmm.
somebody bought it. I think I sold it for like $10 or something. But it, I think
Well, I think that one will do well on Depop.
yeah.
I did start listing on Depop. Well, cross listing. I haven't listed a whole bunch, Amber, but like
My
I
name's
started
Paul.
cross listing on Depop. I haven't made a sale. I probably have my stuff listed too high, but it's been fun, and I'll show you how I've been like listing them. Like I've been doing like the pop artish stuff,
Oh, that's cool.
but I got like
You know,
almost
with
30, I
that
think.
the app where it like deletes the background and then you just color it in.
Yeah, I use Bazaar. I did a tutorial on my channel or whatever, but I use Bazaar and it like eliminates the background and then you can just change it with a colored background. I don't know if Depop like frowns upon that because you don't see a lot of digital backgrounds in their explore page. It's mainly just like a old sheet or just something because they like their modeled photos.
I put stuff on Depop. I got likes, but I don't know how to sell on there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, I got a like. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed
You
to
can't send offers on Depop.
yeah,
You do have a personal message like the DMs in Depop, and you can put your closet on sale, like your items on sale in your closet after they've been listed 10 days. It won't let you if they're 10 days new or whatever.
right?
So, but I have some that are older than 10 days now, but I had put my closet on sale before that and they didn't ever. So I think I've got to, redo it that way. It includes those as well. But I like colorful stuff, so that's what I put all that over
I
there.
like that, very Andy Warhol. And it makes your whole page looks cute because you're doing different colors. I sold some stuff that I think I would have made more money if they actually sold on Depop.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like I was getting a lot of likes, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I was supposed to talk to them in comments, if I was supposed to say, hey, how much are you willing to pay? I just didn't know how to work in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's definitely something that the community needs. Is I haven't found any how-to videos on YouTube like we have for Poshmark and eBay.
On Depop.
Yeah, I think Depop would be something that really desperately we need someone to do how to and what works good and how to sell.
Yeah.
How to
I haven't sold anything yet, so I'm not the person to do.
No, I think we definitely.
Maybe soon.
I'm trying to get Leslie to do it. I've mentioned it to Leslie a couple.
Does she sell on Depop?
Yeah, I think she does Depop and Etsy.
She does a lot on Etsy. She has a couple different Etsy stores.
Yeah, so.
But I think maybe like once I get a couple of live sales under my belt, I might do some videos about the live sales and what worked for me and what was an utter fail,
That would definitely, I would definitely be interested in that because I've like sat here and been like, got this giant, like I was literally going through a bin of stuff as I was cleaning downstairs and it was like, because it was just kind of like I dumped everything from one of my 200-pound boxes into this bin. So I'm going through it and sorting it. I'm like, this could have been a really good live, because then I wouldn't have to try and take pictures or stuff as I'm going through. It's like, okay, hey, this is what we got. Let's do $5,
Yeah.
So I don't know. But do you guys, like, when you're setting up, like you said, themes? So
Okay, that's just me because I have so much stuff that I started with pastels because, pastels is a good thing to do right now during,
Yeah, for sure.
spring and all that stuff. Like I said, I only sold 3 things, so maybe that wasn't the best thing. A lot of stuff that I had was probably sweaters that were pastel. So, but I did sell one. But like I have stuff for like animal print and like denim, like red, white, and blue, for 4th of July coming up. I think the next one we're doing is just basically summer, like shorts, tanks, bathing suits, anything, I guess small and
Yeah, do something small. And your main goal is to get personal shoppers. So is that what you're pricing for now? Are you pricing for resellers now with the hope to later on get more into the personal and up the prices?
I'm not pricing cheap, so I don't think they're for resale, but I also price for, like, we offered an incentive for 3 items or more. So like if they bought 3 items from one seller or whatever, then they would get like 20% off, and I'd be like, it's like shopping on Poshmark, you get a bundle discount.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're saying are you doing this as a
Yeah,
class?
I've been doing it with Lori. So I'm
Okay.
getting Lori out of her comfort zone as I'm getting out of my comfort zone.
What's Lori's tag name?
You know Lori. Lori's your neighbor.
Oh, my Lori?
Your Lori. I made her
She's
do a live
cheating
with me.
on me with you and didn't even tell me about this?
No, I made her do a live.
She did a live with me. She came over here and did it, and then oh no, she's in trouble now. I can't believe you guys are doing that without me. This Tully just ran off. I can't.
Sorry.
Well, no, she's been talking about it for a while, and I was kind of like,
yeah, she tried to chicken out on me like 13 times, and she ghosted me. She ghosted me for a good couple of days. Yeah. I don't know if you're in here, Lori, if you can see this, but I'm calling you out. But yeah, but it worked out. It was fun. I was in a Clubhouse room the week before we did it and talking about, going live, and somebody was like, I was telling them, I've got like this 100 items. I know it's way too much, but I want options, and I want to, and they were like, oh, that's way too much. I usually do 8 to 10 at a time. I go, I guess I'm only used to like Leslie's lives where she goes super fast and she gets like a whole rack done. And so, that's what I was planning on doing. I did the whole rack. Like I had almost 100 items and I did them all. I mean, it took 3 hours. We were in there 3 hours and we went back and forth. So that would be like close to 200 items, but we did it.
That's awesome. And I know Lori like always gets, like, she just has this thing, because we only have like one little Salvation Army on our island.
Mm-hmm.
And she just will call me up like, oh, I found some, what did she find? Like, she got a Yves Saint Laurent bag for $25 or $20 one day. And she
has that Louis Vuitton she got, recently, that bowling ball bag looking thing.
Yeah, I think. Oh wait, is that Louis Vuitton? Yeah, Louis Vuitton. I was thinking Yves Saint Laurent.
Yeah,
it was Louis Vuitton. That she paid $20 for it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was so mad because I go in there and they got like Coach bags for $15. I'm like, seriously, and it's dirty and gross. I'm like, $15 for Coach, messed up, gonna take me like 4 or 5 hours to clean. But you gave her Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, well, she had somebody in the live. She was talking about it in the live, and somebody was like, "I don't care if it's fake." She's like, "I'll take it." And she's like, "Well, let me see if it's authentic first."
That's so funny.
So, I mean, I already have, somebody who purchased from me, and then she went back and watched my haul, and she's like, "Well, what about those items? Have you listed those
Yeah.
items? Can I get measurements?" So, I think it's gonna work out, the whole live sale thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's what I was trying to do when
Mhm.
I started is I I videoed, everything from my 200 pounders and everything from because I would go to the bins and get like 300 pounds and then like do 5 videos of it or whatever. And I've told people, hey, it takes me a while to list stuff. Watch my videos and tell me if you see something you like. Well,
Mhm.
it's so much stuff, it's like 150 things in each box. So what I've decided to do, like with these hauls from Money Mountain, once I get my stuff together, um, like I'll be showing, okay, this is what I'm going to list this week. So that's kind of going into the live sell thing, like maybe even make it a double. So it's like, here's the items that you can buy during the live, or this is what I'm listing this. It's like what I've pulled to list this week. If you buy it, then I don't have to list it, kind of thing, maybe. And are you doing your lives on YouTube or Instagram or
For
both?
now, it's on Instagram just because I don't have a big following on YouTube. I don't even have 400 people
Well,
subscribed.
like
So,
right now, you're not on Instagram too, but I'm on Instagram and YouTube. So that's something too. Like if you wanted to cross platform, you can actually have
mhm.
both. And you could even I've done one with Lori, our first hauls for Money Mountain. We also had Clubhouse on. So we were like tri casting. We had Instagram, YouTube, and
that
Clubhouse going.
you're
But
such an overachiever, Holly.
it's no more work. You just
I
have
know. I'm
have
just playing.
another thing to okay, turn that one on. But this one's hard because like Instagram, since you're not on there right now, they have no idea. They can hear you probably from the iPad. Sorry, guys on Instagram, but they're just stuck with me, you know. But having multiple platforms, at least that's something that you're reaching a wider audience. Maybe somebody doesn't do YouTube, or the other way around. Maybe somebody doesn't do Instagram. So, you would expand your market just by having another device. And it's
So you're just going live with just another device, right?
right. So I
Well,
have,
there is an app that or like a program, I don't know, that you can use that streams like multiple things at once, you know, that way you don't have to have them on with different devices.
okay.
Shelly Saves the Day did a video about it. You may want to check out her
Yeah,
channel.
I'll check that out because like basically what I use right now is I use StreamYard, which you're on for YouTube, and then I use my phone for Instagram Live, and then I save it as Instagram TV. But that would be definitely interesting if we could find that multicast, because that's definitely, if you can same amount of energy have more play a bigger audience, why not?
Yeah.
So
Program to go. Let me look it up real fast and I might be able to.
you're doing like me, talk to yourself as you put it together. And I'm out of alcohol, so Amber said that you were rude for doing your thing with Lori. I have my backup. Okay, so next time you have to do one with me. So what's your next live? I'm gonna be like, Lori, I'm still in my windy back from you. So what's your next theme night?
Oh, that's the summer stuff. So
Okay, so you're doing the shorts and like
the
shirts
bathing
and summer.
suits, the tanks.
What's your price range? Are you doing that like Leslie had hers 5 to 50 on the description? Do you have like a price range?
Probably not.
There's such an
I don't see how
overachiever.
she does it for $5 just because she has to pay for shipping.
Yeah.
So, like the cheapest thing I did, the other day was like $8 and it was like a bathing suit bottom. So, like, you ship it, it's probably going to be like $3 and something, with the discounted or whatever on PayPal or wherever you're going to ship through. I
But
guess I could do it for 5. I don't know, but I want to make more than $1.
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is you're hoping that people are going to buy more than one thing.
See, my bathing suits though that I got are kind of higher end. They're like they retail for like $85 for just the top or the bottom. And
Yeah,
so
separates are expensive. So
yeah, Pilliq, I have a lot of Pilliq platinum swimwear, that kind of thing. And I did pay a little bit for them. I mean, so
okay, I see that you're on the Instagram. So
yeah.
on Instagram, click say request to join. Sorry guys on YouTube, I'm so close.
That means I won't be able to use my phone to take pictures.
What are you taking pictures of?
I'm listing. I thought this was a listing thing.
Well, you're supposed to tell me like what you're listing. It is kind of, but we also talk, about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you're actually taking pictures right now of things and listing?
Yeah, the bag. I took pictures of the bag. And now, well, I'm trying to. I don't know.
Okay, you're even more of an overachiever.
Bella Perlina.
Pretty. Oh, that's really pretty. That's nice. So you're actually sitting there listing while we talk.
Well, I'm taking pictures, so
You're an overachiever. See, other people, it's just we come on, it's like, okay, I'm going to list this and this and this. And so far, Barbara Bosch is the only one that actually got everything listed. She said she was going to.
I don't know. I just got a pile of stuff that I could, hold on, let me see. See if it'll show. And join.
Oh, you know what? I think I can change it so that, no, how do I change it so that you're share? Oh, whoa. There's supposed to be a way so that you can share your screen.
Oh, Breezy's doing her live sale on Clubhouse, it looks like.
They do live sales on Clubhouse too?
Mm-hmm. Well, they started. Yeah, they've been doing it where they post the picture, have the people PTR, and then they post the picture and people come up that are interested in buying it. And I don't know if they're doing, I haven't listened to it yet, but I heard about it. So then they come up and maybe they auction it off. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Okay, so they're posting pictures like on Instagram and then
no, on Clubhouse, like as their little profile picture. So and then they talk about the item.
So they have to keep changing out their profile picture to the next item that they're in.
Well, and not everybody is a seller. People come up and take turns to be sellers. And so they only bring up the people who are interested in the item, like the seller, and then the people who might want to buy it.
Okay. That sounds like way more work than
it sounds like a lot of work. And I like up close pictures, and with your profile little picture, that's not very big.
Little, yeah.
Yeah, and you can't see anything but maybe a small picture. But I mean, if they can describe the item and you can take their word for it, I guess it would work.
Yeah. I don't think I would add that to my. I definitely want to do a live sell. Like you guys are doing, but I couldn't possibly see trying to do it on Clubhouse where you're having to change out pictures as you're talking. That's weird, but I don't know. So how many items from your death pile are you going to get listed today on your one day off?
Probably 0. Now I listed one earlier. I have a ton of drafts in
Sure,
Poshmark.
so
I
you
have to
got
go
two,
back.
right?
Yeah. What?
You just took 2 items pictures, so you got 2 right
Mhm.
there. You can lay in bed and list them. Do you use any listing services like Vendoo or List
I
Perfect?
have lists perfectly, but I have to do that for my MacBook. Um, so, but I don't list everything over. I don't cross list everything over, just things that I think will probably sell because I don't have time to do everything.
Oh wow. Yeah, with I'm not sure how it sounded like with List Perfectly, you're going to be charged based on how many things you actually have as inventory on there.
I think that's Vendoo. List
No,
perfect.
but too, it's X number of things per month. So like I have, I think
Well, I
I
don't do the inventory option. I don't do the inventory option. I just straight do the cross listing. So I only pay $29 a month, and then you just bring up that Chrome extension, and then it automatically transfers the pictures over to whatever platforms that you choose.
say with Vendoo, I have like 1,550 items in my little inventory section there, and I can like cross list them all I want. It doesn't count as an inventory unless it's like a new item that okay, I listed something on Poshmark and I'm uploading it to Vendoo to have it in my inventory there. Like last month I paid for the 200 because I paid the lowest amount, which is like 250 listings a month, and I ended up I was too busy trying to do stuff that I pulled in from the month before that I didn't get any new listings on. So, that
Wah,
was
wah, wah.
yeah, but and I just got charged for this next month. So I need to get my 250 listings at least. But I want to try and do 300. I want to do like 100 listings every 3 days because I
Well,
think.
I can't even do 100 a month.
But I mean, you're working all the time, and that takes a lot away from you. So it's everybody has different abilities and stuff like that. And I've had months where I haven't been able to list hardly anything, and all I've been doing is relisting because I just my legs aren't working, or the back's messed up too much. So you never know what's gonna come your way. But I do like that I have all my inventory there as like an outside source. So like say a hurricane comes and my computers get trashed or whatever, all my stuff is backed up on an outside source.
Hmm.
So I like having that option. And I did notice that when I cross listed on eBay and Mercari, when I would get like, they send you congratulations, you can list 20 more things kind of stuff. As soon as I would list a bunch of stuff on eBay or Mercari, then I would get a sell. So it was like,
Hmm.
it's kind of like Poshmark in the you have to be constantly listing, but now you've got a cap on how much you can list. So you've got to try and be more diligent about spreading out your listings, or you're not. It's going to be like burst of stuff listed, a couple of sales, then you're dead until either you sell enough stuff for them to let you have some more items or not.
Look at what I'm listing now.
So
It's
cute.
a cigar box purse.
That's adorable.
It's got like the little
Romeo.
beads.
That's cool.
And the inside looks like animal print. Let me see.
Oh, that's cute.
Mhm.
I would even put that on Etsy because that's definitely handmade.
I don't know by who, but
But it's cool. It's like decoupage.
yeah. Well, it is got the hardware, and then this top part is fabric, and this is beads around there. So,
So cool.
I don't know. I think there's other. It's not like a new thing. There's several other cigar box purses, but they do pretty well, I think.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely do on like Depop or Etsy, one of the artsier. But I
Different. See, that's the kind of stuff I like buying. I like buying stuff that is unique, that is colorful, that it will take a long time to sell, but I don't mind waiting for the right buyer, and I don't like dropping my prices consistently, just have a fast sale. I'm definitely like a slow dime kind of girl.
yeah.
So, in fact, something I listed, God, 2018 probably, just sold this week.
Oh wow. See, that sounds like me. Like this stuff will be sitting here for years and I'll be like, oh, I finally sold this. So that's cool. Oh, I have something back that I'm bummed about. I finally sold it. I was so excited because she like paid what I wanted for it. I didn't go down. And then she got it. I was like, oh, this is too small. And I sold it on Mercari, so I had to take the return. And I'm just like,
Yeah, Mercari. I hate Mercari.
yeah.
So
I've gotten a return from Mercari, and I think everything on eBay has been good. I got something. I got like a negative review from someone on Poshmark where they were like, um, the shirt was disgusting and she had to throw it in the garbage. I'm like,
see, I had somebody say something like that. I had sold a it was vintage and it was like double-sided, and I know it did not smell. She said it smelled
yeah.
musty and old, and she had to leave it outside. And I'm like, it was not like that.
See, and I think that people are just like wanting you to go with discount because, especially on Poshmark, okay, if something's nasty enough that you want to throw it away, then open a case.
Yeah, and she never did that.
No, you just
You
go.
can't give
Yeah,
partial discounts, or refunds. So what's the point?
I just sent a message. Oh, sorry, and then somebody else like said that something smelled smoky, and I abhor smoke smell. I hate it. But
I have this. My smeller works like 10 times stronger than anybody else. I can smell things that nobody can smell. And so I smell smoke. And if I smell smoke, then it's definitely, smoky or
yeah,
whatever.
and I think a lot of there's been several people that have talked about that they don't smoke, they don't have anything smoking around where they keep their clothes. They've washed them, and then the concern is that there are mail carriers that smoke in their trucks, and then that's what's giving.
They're not supposed to, but
yeah.
There are some carriers though that even if they don't smoke in the truck, it still lingers on them. Like it lingers at their case, when they've been gone for several days. Like, yeah, some people are just compulsive smokers.
Yeah. So I guess that's something that it's we're gonna keep seeing. Oh, that's pretty.
It's a St. John bracelet that I got from a consignment. So that's the only reason why that little bitty, like, I was like, what is that? It took me forever to figure out what it was. And it's a St. John bracelet. It's really pretty.
Cool.
I need to list that. I've been sitting on it for a good 4 months at least.
Yeah, that's like I'm looking at like 5 pairs of Jimmy Choo and a pair of Fendi that I haven't listed yet. So,
well, I still have that designer box I need to list. It ended up being that Gucci dress was real, and everything else was real. So, but I got to figure out what I need to do with it because there's little grommets right here, and it's supposed to have a chain that has Gucci emblem at the bottom, but it's not there. So that kind of makes the whole dress. So do I just disclose and sell it as is, or do I find something and disclose? That way it's still got that same
I
look.
mean, I think it still looks good as is, and I think if somebody really wants that Gucci emblem there, they'll try and look for it somewhere. And that's kind of like, I think a big part of why these Rent the Runway outfits that a lot of us get, where they're
Mhm.
missing all the buttons or they're missing like an emblem or something like that. I think they're doing the same thing that we should be doing, and that's like salvaging what you can. If an item is messed up, get all the hardware off of it because people sell just that alone.
Yeah, I had a St. John blazer. It had some stains, it had little holes. I know they probably weren't going to repair it because it was so much, but I still sold it for $35 probably because they
Yeah.
wanted the cool buttons that were on there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's, yeah, and those buttons are really nice on St. John's stuff. I like their buttons that they use. But that's definitely something too that I'm doing now with things that I get. You know, you get it back home and it's like, oh, it's got a stain that you can't get out, kind of thing. Okay, so the Clarks are saying that it's difficult to hear me.
Yeah,
That's
I'm pretty loud, so
that's surprising to me though, because I'm pretty loudmouth. Sorry, guys. I will try.
sorry.
Can you guys hear me better now? Reselling with the Clarks. Give me a thumbs up or something. That's weird because usually I'm so loud that I try and tone it down, and I mumble. I know. I feel so bad for people when they listen to me because it's like, what did she say?
Wah, 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 wah,
Yeah,
wah.
exactly. It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty loud, sorry.
no, they like being able to hear us, so that's good. I think also I was kind of like leaning back a little bit a ways from it. So St. John is your big thing. So yeah, I would definitely sell that Gucci dress and just disclose that it's, you know, just like you would do with a missing belt. Just say missing chain element. Or you're doing like your arm right now, you're doing bracelets.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on my arm.
She's even modeling. So like she's so great at this.
Well, it
Yeah.
looks different whenever it's on the table.
Oh, at least it's not, you know, like stinky shoes. That's probably
No way I'm gonna model some shoes. My feet are ugly, guys.
my
I mean, they
feet.
might like it. Some weirdo may like it. Ah, I dropped
My
it.
feet are terrifying. Like, yeah, they're really bad. I think it's because like I don't have filling in my feet. It's kind of like I actually had a nurse ask me if I was diabetic because I guess that's a thing that
Mhm.
if you have
The neuropathy, yeah.
the neuropathy from diabetes, I guess also leads to like dead skin, just like big chunks of dead skin, and that started to happen. That actually started happening for me after getting a pedicure. It was
Yeah,
like I never
well,
had
it's
that.
because they don't clean their tools properly, and you can get a fungal infection pretty easily. So I'd probably treat it with like um athlete's foot stuff.
Okay, I don't know. I just don't have chunks of dead skin. Hope no one's eating right now. Okay, so reselling with the Clark says that. Oh, you know what? I wonder if um I wonder if it's because of the case that my iPad is in,
Maybe.
maybe covering up the mic a little bit. I will try and talk louder for you guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, we're
Vanna Whiting it.
being white. Oh my gosh. My cousin used to drive me crazy because Vanna White was like from where she was from. She's from Sumter, South Carolina. I'm like, I really don't care. You've told me that 873 times. Really don't care. But so you are taking pictures. We have been on for an hour and 49 minutes.
And I only took items or pictures for 3 items. That's terrible.
No, that's good. I mean, at least you got 3 pictures. I'm just sitting here like I haven't eaten yet. Reselling with the Clark says to soak my feet in apple cider vinegar. Um, I actually got 40% vinegar, which it you can't drink it. It's like deadly if you try and drink it. But you can use it to like kill off weeds and stuff. Like I have a P Rock driveway because we don't really have a lot of um, asphalt driveways here, and so like you can use the 40% vinegar, and that's like a natural way to kill off the weeds because we have the deer. I live on a nature reserve island, and we have like the little miniature deer, so we have to try and use environmentally friendly ideas. So
But you can't use diesel fuel? What?
yeah, no, it's not a good, like throw the diesel fuel, catch it on fire. Weeds are gone. It doesn't work. But that's also really good for cleaning your house. Like if you want to have a natural cleaning solution, lemon juice and 40% vinegar. You got antibacterial, antimicrobial, all of this stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And like I use lemongrass essential oil. I put it in you do the same thing?
Well, I do essential oils, yeah, but I use Thieves. I mainly use Thieves.
Thieves, what's that?
It has cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, lemon. There's one more thing I can't remember, but basically it like does all the things. They have a whole Thieves cleaning line, but I use a lot of lemon for a lot of things as well. But I love lemongrass
really
smell.
But I use lemongrass because lemon will linger longer.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are like really hypersensitive to smells. So I'll use lemongrass essential oil because it's also antibacterial, just like lemon. And I spray that on, and it will help with removing any odors, but it dissipates really fast. So it'll smell like lemon for a little bit, but then it'll dissipate. So you're not having any smell at all. Whereas lemon, it'll stay with it. I like the smell of lemon, so I'd be happy if my clothes came in and they were smelling like lemons. Do you use that as a mist for your clothing, or is that like just a cleaner?
Oh, I've tried to do the lavender and a little bit of what did I use? Was it pure? Might have been lemongrass. It might have been the lemongrass together, just like a really light spray. Can't remember. It's been forever since I made it, but I don't do it for all of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's good too to use. One thing that I don't know if many people do, but I did it like immediately, is for our steamers, you really should be using distilled water because otherwise it gets all funky in there. And having to go and buy jugs of distilled water, pain in the butt. So I actually got a distiller when I got my steamer. So I'll just make, it takes like 4 hours to make like a gallon of distilled water.
Really?
Just like put it on like tomorrow I'm gonna steam, so let me run a thing of water. The next morning my gallon of water's already distilled, and then I can start another one. So I think that's a really good thing, especially if you getting the more expensive steamers. Like I've got the big one that it's got like the stand and everything like that.
Yeah, mine's just cheap. It's a Slav. I got it from a thrift store, but there's a little leak somehow. I've tried to do like the plumber's tape around it, and it still tends to leak. So I don't know. I only paid like $20 for it though, but I'd really love one of those. What are they called? The really expensive ones.
I don't know the brand of the one I have, but it's like it's got a stand. It's like a big bottom, and you pull the tank out of the bottom, fill it up with water, and start it. And then you have 3 different levels of steam. I always do it on the highest, even though you're supposed to adjust it for different fabrics. And then it's got the 4th one is for clean, and that one it's just like going so.
Jiffy, yeah, that's it.
Oh, Jiffy. Lindsay says Jiffy steamer.
Yeah, Jiffy. There's a pink one. So they came out with a pink one that I really want.
I would do that too.
But they're like what, $300 or something?
I don't know. Mine was like close to 200. That's why I was like, I'm gonna spend the 169 to get the distiller too, because in that way I'm not having to pay for distilled water, but I'm also gonna have the steamer will last longer too by doing that.
My necklace is the chain is like messed up. Like I think they linked it in the wrong spot. So I'm trying to fix it.
It's not looking right. Does it look like maybe it came undone?
It may have been twisted and it just, I don't know. But it's supposed to look like this to where they're just together on the same link. But this one's all twisted somehow. I don't know. It's a Etienne Anye. I don't know.
Etienne Anye.
Yeah.
I love Etienne Anye.
Mm-hmm.
I drive Lori crazy with that. I'm like, what's this called?
Mm-hmm. Oh, she schooled me. So, I mean, you trained her right, apparently.
Because I
didn't know how to say it.
I've been like training her in Etienne Anye because I have like purses, I have the shoes, I have a leather Etienne Anye jacket coming that I got on Shop Goodwill. I love their stuff. I mean, that was like, I grew up 80s. And in the 80s, Etienne Anye was like, that was the really rich kids had Etienne Anye. And it was usually like the hand-me-downs from their mom because it was that, high end. So now it's starting to make a comeback because, 80s people like me are having those flashbacks to, hey, now I can afford this, so I'm going to get it. And they have great leather, really do have great leather. And it's made in Spain, España. So somebody buy Wendy's Etienne Anye necklace. That's got the weird thing. You're onto a bracelet now?
Yeah, I think it's Landau. It's like just an enamel bracelet. It's real pretty though.
I have got a lot of jewelry I need to start listing.
Well, I started doing the Goodwill mystery boxes, so I have a crap ton. But this one I bought at the
in those because I really haven't tried the jewelry boxes. I was addicted to their denim boxes though.
I didn't get really good results with the denim boxes, and I don't know. I kind of hate to sell denim anyway because I don't know. I'm not very good at the photos for pants.
My God, I see, and that's my favorite to do because I actually took a picture of it earlier. I take all my jeans and pants and I lay them down on each other so that kind of the weight of them irons them out in a way.
Yeah.
So some of the pants I'll still have to steam, but for the most part the jeans will flatten out. And it's so fast because it's I take it off the stack, throw it on the hanger, hold it up, boom, front, boom, back, open the fly, take the picture of the tags, and done. I can go through 100 jeans so fast. That's one of my favorite things to photograph because it's so fast for me. And then I'm not getting my shoes and my purses done, which other people are like, oh, those are so fast for me. I'm like, oh, they're the worst. And that's what I've got so much of that I need to get listed. So do you have a little, what do you call it, box?
No, I have a background stand. It has a white roll of paper. I'm on a table and I just put it on the table and just let it fall to where that's the background.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to, for the most part, for my cover photos, I'm going to edit the background and just do a digital white background anyway.
Right.
So
That's cool. Yeah, Lori's boyfriend set her up a nice little display, kind of that same situation. I have the light box from B&H Photo. Um, Reselling with the Clarks wants to know, where do we do the majority of our thrifting? So where is you're like local?
Yeah, I don't have a bins. I mainly go to Savers and Goodwill. Well, I have my favorite thrift stores, but I don't go that often.
Yeah. do I do go to the bins. When I go to the bins, it's like maybe once a month, and because it's far away. It's like close to 200 miles to the one I like to go in West Palm, and so it's a long thing. I'll try and usually do like an overnight, and then that way I can do 2 days of bins, just because I've got to go all the way up there. I might as well, try and get my money's worth out of the time. But I get a lot. I'm gonna be on my 10th 200-pound bulk box from ThredUp when that comes.
I'd be so overwhelmed. I'm already overwhelmed with just getting these little, these little mystery boxes and everything that I had. We moved a crap ton of my stuff from North Carolina when we moved here. So I have a lot. It's almost a 400 square foot room that I only devote to the reselling, and then it spills over into my bedroom and then the sunroom.
Yeah, right now my living room, you can't see the couch. I have a rack of clothes plus bins in there. This room is a hot mess that I'm in now. This is supposed to be the guest room, but it's like I've got shelves, and it's mostly like my high-end bags and shoes I have in here, and then like the boxes of stuff I've gotten recently that I did videos of. Then downstairs I have my room that was built that is ending up being just the workroom, and then Lori and her boyfriend came and we like cleaned out my shed side. So I have half of my shed is now also stuff. Lots of stuff. And
So,
like, I've only sold 2 reseller boxes. Like, people kept asking me, hey, will you
I
sell
only sold 2 as well.
and I was just like, I only like made the thing because I had so many people asking me, you've got so much stuff, will you do a reseller box? And I was just like,
How many items are you doing and how much are you selling them for?
I kind of like as much as I can fit in the box is kind of what I was doing. I think the 2 I got like 12 to 15 items in each box because I did the large priority box. I okay, you work for the post office, so go like this for my earmuffs. My stuff weighs more than 5 pounds. So, but I told you earmuffs, you didn't hear it.
So I was only able to do 10 to 12 items at most on mine, and I did mine as just new tag stuff, but my listing, since I bought a bunch of Wild Fox jeans for
I just lost my lights.
uh-oh.
What happened? My thing gets too hot.
Oh, yeah.
So
I bought a bunch of Wild Fox jeans, and so I advertised the box as having one good item, which is a pair of Wild Fox jeans. And I was like, they're all going to be new tags, but you're getting one good item. So,
right.
but I sold it for like $60. So, which is
Okay.
a lot, but when you're getting a pair of Wild Fox jeans, that's gonna pay for most of the box when you sell them.
I really have no clue who Wild Fox is. I guess I'll have to look that up.
You know what Wild Fox is?
No.
They have a lot of out there stuff, like
if it's out there, I should know about it, I think.
Yeah, the very first Wild Fox thing I ever bought, I didn't know what it was either. Is I got it from Plato's Closet. It was like this mesh top, black top, and it had the word Barbie wrote in pink, and it was new with tags.
Oh, that's
I listed it for like $50. It sold on eBay like that, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Wild Fox is a good brand." Okay.
Yeah, for real. Okay.
But I have a discount store right here. Oh, what is it? We have
Reselling with the Clark says we have 2 bins within an hour of us and several retail Goodwills. DAV, which is Disabled American Veterans. CHKD, I'm not sure about thrift stores. We're getting ready to move about 600 miles. So need to slow down on the thrifting, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
I hear you, man. I'm Barbara is not allowed to call me anymore and tell me when the 200-pound boxes are up. That is, I have to stop. Like, I need a break. I have to just, like, I need to set a new goal of, like, sell 200 things and then I can get another box. Because each
That's
of my,
about that. Yeah, the estimate, that's approximately 200.
yeah, because those boxes, I get like 360 items about. They cost $500, so my breakdown is about $1.62 per item, and I'll get maybe this last box. It was a lot of really good stuff, and like a lot of stuff with tags too. So this is probably my best box that I've gotten, the most recent one, and I should probably make, if I sell everything that was in that box, I should make 10,000. But I have to list everything to get it sold, and that's the problem. So
Yeah, that's no problem.
You know, but then you have that in your mind. It's like, if I get another 200 pounds, I'll have like another $10,000 I could make. It's like, it doesn't help if you can't list it. So I need to like follow my own advice and start getting my stuff listed. And so that's where I'm kind of, this week I've been this weekend I started, and I'm going to go through this week. I'm going to get all of my stuff completely set up so that I've got a good workflow system set up and I can just get stuff listed. And I need to do shoes and bags really bad because I have like a lot of shoes and bags that, will be really good money. I just may need to touch some of them up. So, and I want to do some videos on that as well, like how to, like I have a blue Tory Burch that on the edges it's rubbed down to the leather. So that's when you've lost the color. So what you have to do then is you have to deglaze that whole area around it. So then that way you can get your leather dye, color it back the color that the bag is. Sometimes you're going to have to, like, I've got a bunch of different colors, and you may have to mix colors just like you would for painting to try and do a color match. So you get the leather dye on there, let that dry completely, and then you add the glaze that the bags normally come with. Just so that like makes it waterproof and everything like that, and then you can like polish it in. So I want to do some videos on how to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have some the edge coating for the purses and stuff. I purchased it from an Italian company.
Yep.
And their service was amazing. Like I literally got it within the week, and that was at the beginning of the pandemic. They sent it express, like from Italy, and I hardly paid anything for it.
That's the edge coat that like on the edges of the purses where they have, it looks like a rubber along the edge.
Yeah.
And
I did a lot of research. See, I've never done those. I've read, which one did I read was really good? Was it Tandy leather? I don't know. But I read some that were really good, but you can't hardly buy them anymore. Like you can't find any place to buy them. And so, because the ones that the actual edge coating brand, I think it's called Edge Coat. I read that it peels really easily though. So like they may not last. So I wanted to get one that actually was a really good one. So I found a video and he compared it. I forget what the company was called. I'll have to get with you, but
send me the message because I definitely want to get, if there's something that's better than what I'm using, I definitely would like to use that.
And they have all the colors. They have the sample packs and the little bottles. They're a good size for being, you know, a sample
Mhm.
pack. And then I bought an extra one because you get like, I think black. I don't even
Like
remember what I
black,
got.
brown, neutral. That's kind
Yeah, well, you got 2 colors, and then I said I needed a different one. I think you maybe get brown and white, and then so I ordered the black, or it was the opposite. But I think I only paid like $17
that's really
for
good.
all that. Yeah, and that included them shipping it express.
Okay, well, you have to come back on and leave in the comments. You have to
Mhm.
let us on know what it was that
I
you used.
thought about creating a series, just like Clueless and, you know, like reselling tips.
No, but that's something that's very necessary, and that's
Mhm,
what I try and do because, like, I've done a couple on spit shining and how to clean patent leather because a lot of people didn't know how to clean patent leather. A lot of people were like, "Hey, use the magic eraser." I'm like, "No," because
mhm.
that'll actually destroy that coating. And
Well, how do you clean it? Because I've heard a
it,
couple things.
it's called Vernis Rife, Vernis, and then the second word's Rife, Rafe. You can find it on Amazon. There's kind of like a milky one that's like the clear or neutral, and then there's one that's kind of like it looks black, but it's really kind of like a darkest blue. And that one you can use on like all your dark purple, dark brown, dark black, all of that, and then you use the milky for any of your other colors. And like if you have a scuff or like a paint transfer, you want to use a Q-tip so you can apply pressure without scratching, because that's the biggest thing is you don't want to scratch that coating, because then it just messes it up. It gives it like a dullness. So don't use magic erasers on your patent leather. Just get a Q-tip and some Vernis Rife and just scrub on it. Somebody else has said to use acetate. No, it's like a plastic coating that will actually melt it.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, no, that's quickest way to melt it is to use
That's
acetate.
just like a quick fix probably to get it off, but then it kind of
Yeah, it's
messes up
damaged.
the quality of the finish.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, definitely, and it's inexpensive, like you're saying about the other edge coat, which I definitely need to know about. So don't
Here,
forget to call me.
let me see if I
Um,
can find it.
oh, and also there is like a glaze that after you put the edge coat on, it's the same kind of glaze like what I put over when I do a leather dye. So it kind of seals it in. I also put that over the edge coat. So that might be why mine lasts a little longer, is because also glazing them. But I definitely would want to make sure that I'm using the best products. But there's so much stuff that we can do, even if we're not super handy and we've never really done a lot of stuff. Like I got a darn I sold a Alexander McQueen tank top that has like a little hole on the bottom, and I just put in the description, I'll darn it for free if you want. So they've asked me to darn it, so I need to go in and darn it tonight.
Giardini is the
Can
yeah, Giardini is that brand.
you message it to me?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then Lindsay's asking, how do I get color transfer off patent leather? I found a new Demi 2 clutch at the bins, but it has right. And that's what I'm talking about. Actually, look in my videos. I have a video of a black Coach bag that just had these white color transfers all over it. I don't know if it was from shoes or what, but it just has these white all over it. And all I'm doing is using that Vernis Rife and a Q-tip, and you just rub it and it comes off, and you're not scratching the patent leather.
So where do you get that? Can you get it off
On
Amazon?
Amazon, yeah, just look up Vernis Rife, Vernis, Rife, Rife. Here, I'm going to type it into the comments.
Okay, I see sapphire,
Yeah,
And
exactly. That's the brand I use, Sapphire. And you should see like there's one that's kind of milky colored. That's the
mhm.
neutral, and then there's a black one that's for your dark colored items. And lots of Q-tips. Scrub it with the Q-tips. And they come out really nice. So they look brand new. Did you just freeze? Okay,
Yeah.
now you're unfrozen. You froze for a minute. Ugh. That's fake. Your eyes move. It took a second. I was like, her eyes are moving. So, what else do we want to talk about? We talked about the possible changes on pot. Oh wait, I don't think you were in here when we talked about the change that happened and then didn't happen with the.
Yeah, I kind of heard. I was hearing you. I was like setting up and everything. Yeah, I seen Amber Resell's video, about the change or whatever, and then I didn't. It didn't do that to mine. I didn't change. It didn't change on me at that time.
Yeah, for me though, because I do try and put in a lot of SEO terms and I need to go in and use the new tag section.
Hmm.
For me, I'm like, hey, that's great if it's putting up relevance at the top. Because when you invest that much time in making sure you've got great SEO words, but you're not moving to the top of the list unless you're sitting there sharing.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to shorten my titles just because I may have them listed somewhere else, and the SEOs are still going to be the same everywhere else. They're going to be searching from Google probably for the most
Right.
part, and not necessarily always from Poshmark. So I'm not
But
going to just put
I
American Eagle
still would
jeans.
I personally would prefer if it was based on relevance.
Hmm.
Is then those of us that have actually invested the time to put in all of those SEO search words, we're at the top where we should be because we're more relevant to the search rather than, okay, well, this is sort of like it and it was shared more recently.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and I think I would appreciate that more as a buyer too, to be able to have stuff, not have to slug through a bunch of stuff that's not really what I was looking for. Automatically, you have to go and change it to relevance. And so, I mean, either way, if they want to be more relevant, they can change it, or if they want to go by shared, they can change it. So I don't know. Agent, and I know for people that have to deal with the sharing, it's like if we've got to put all this energy into sharing, then we should have share at the top. So it's kind of like one of those situations where both sides have valid arguments. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll come back. And then the business account.
Hey, do you know anything about this brand? It's what is it called? I just found them today. Gudrun Shoden. I don't know. Let's see.
They look like velvet.
Yeah, well, they're suede.
Sweet. That's
I
nice.
think it's Gudrun Shoden, but they're so stinking cute.
That is cute. Those are like little house slippers. Like Chinese
Adorable.
house slippers.
They're real. They're made in Portugal, and they're leather on the inside, but they're suede on the outside, embroidered. They don't
That's
even look like they've been worn, but there's a few issues with them. Not much. There's like a little tiny cut or something, but I paid up for them. They were listed. They were like $11 at Savers, but I had that 30% off that ended today. I didn't even know that it was in my email. So it was like 30% off if you get 75 or more. So I definitely did.
I've never been to a Savers. I didn't even know what it was. My friend from Alaska would tell me that she was going to Savers in Value Village,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, wait, Savers? Savers in Florida, I don't know if they do have the other kind of Savers, but the Savers I know is like the grocery store.
Hmm.
It's kind of like even cheaper than Aldi kind of thing. Oh wait, we got a Gudrun Sojenden is a female Swedish fashion. Yeah, as soon as I saw that name, I'm like, that's definitely.
Well, these are way cuter than the ones that I've seen on the actual listings that sold for like $50 to $100.
Wow.
So I didn't mind paying. I paid less than 10 with my discount. So, but they're so cute. I tried them on. They're too big for me.
Cute. Poor Amber, her son has. Well, luckily we didn't get a bunch of thumbs up on here, since her son likes to. He's a little one. He likes to steal her phone and then like push the thumbs up button because he likes the sound it makes.
It makes a sound.
Yeah, I guess her notifications, if
Oh,
you push the thumbs up button, it like makes a ding or something. So, well, that's cool. At least you know now you've got a female Swedish fashion designer shoes,
mm-hmm.
and you didn't see any. Did you try looking up the brand's website,
No, I
Lindsay? Do you
hadn't.
know, Lindsay? Do you know if Amber said on Facebook Messenger he was hitting the thumbs up again. Lindsay, do you know if Gudrun Soyden, I think is how it would
I
be.
think it's Shoden because I know Sjogren's. Sjogren's is a thing, and it's SJO.
Okay.
By Shoden.
Lindsay says her shoes range from 108 to 175 new. So that's good. That's a good thing. I actually still have. I need to fix it. Geez, now I can't remember the name of it, but like in my first thread up box, I got like this slip dress, and the name I didn't really know. I looked it up, and it's like this really famous, like super high end Danish designer. Like this dress retailed for over $1,000, but one of the straps is like really fine spaghetti straps, and it's silk. Broke off from here. So I'm gonna try and take it to like a tailor to get it fixed, because maybe it costs like $50 to repair it, but I should still be able to sell it for over 100, just because of the brand. So
She
that's
said that she makes Lagenlook and art to wear pieces. See, I love art to wear pieces. Like that's why I'm so drawn to like the Bob Mackie stuff. Nobody will pick up Bob Mackie, but I love it. I love Bob Mackie. And in
no,
fact,
I do too.
that little sweater right here, that's Bob Mackie.
I have a couple Bob Mackie, and I've sold some. I have like 4 or 5 I need to list, but I've sold them. But I market it as art to wear, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is. I mean, he was like the original art to wear guy. And
Wasn't he the one that dressed like Cher a lot? Bob Mackie.
I don't
I think he did.
remember like his
Way
first
back when.
stuff. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I'm 70s, 80s kid. I was born in the 60s, so I mean, he was huge as I was growing up. That was like rich women wore it, and it was
Mm-hmm.
considered an art investment. You were buying art to be able to wear, and it was like ungodly expensive. So it's kind of cool to find these pieces now still out there.
Have you seen the photos of me modeling some of the stuff that I find?
I have to look at that.
So like his shirts they're like small, the ones that I found are medium, but they won't button up. So they're super super tight. So I've been wearing them as like an overshirt and then wearing some crazy shirt. Like I wore a kid's Aladdin t-shirt and with over this like red with this big old star. And so it was like out there, but I had so much fun.
Yeah, that's cool. And and that's fun if you like set up kind of a theme to your, like, for me, I consider my closet to kind of be the different parts of me, because a lot of people are like, you really need to have a closet to have like a theme and like, you know, you're in a lane and all of that. I'm like, well, I'm not in a lane. You know, I have my 20-year-old brain that's like, oh, you should wear that. And it's like,
Mhm.
you're 55, you know, and then I have my appropriate wear for my age kind of stuff. And then I have the stuff like the vintage stuff that is like, you know, I would have kicked somebody's ass at 15 to be able to have that item. So I want to have those 80s and 90s things. And, you know, so I don't have a set lane.
I gotta show you something that I found.
Okay. Yay! Surprises. Lindsay says she sold a Bob Mackie maxi dress on eBay a few days ago for $69. It's coming back. My age group is now at the age and at the, you know, we're kind of like at the income level now that we can buy this stuff from our.
Hey, Lindsay, do you know this brand? Since you know a lot of the stuff that I'm mentioning.
Yes,
It's Robert David Morton. It's like a
pretty.
crazy vintage like maxi dress.
That's cool.
They have a whole bunch of them listed on eBay for quite a bit. It's not perfect by no means, but it's vintage and
It's pretty. I like that coloring. So you looked up? Did you look up the?
yeah, I looked him up and a lot of his listings popped up on Etsy for a little bit, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, that's always fun too. Like when you find something, and I've had it happen a couple times where I'm like, "Hmm," and then I look it up and it's like, okay, I'm really happy about that.
That one is, it says 70s maxi dress. It's listed on Etsy for $305.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, okay.
yeah, I'll get two.
So
I'll take
I
two.
don't know anything about it. Maybe I should ask Breezy. She knows about the vintage stuff.
Who?
Breezy?
Breezy? Who's
Breezy
she?
Von Breezy.
Breezy by Von Breezy.
You know, follow her. She knows all about the vintage. She like does a lot of vintage tips and stuff, you know, to help you date the vintage.
Okay, I need to follow her. Or maybe is she the one that came on Quimby's and gave? No, that was somebody else. I think that was Lindsay maybe that gave the link to. There's a page that has like all the vintage
But
tags.
yeah, it's Vintage Fashion Guild. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was Lindsay might have put that up. Um,
Look at
Lindsay says that that brand is from New York, but had a home in Pennsylvania as well. So, okay, let's see your. That's like a very 80s, the chewing gum. You use chewing gum wrap.
well, it's actually a brand, Allin
Yeah.
company or whatever, but it's basically like chew like candy
Yeah.
wrappers.
Oh, well, those are Thin Mints. That one's
Yeah, it's so cute though.
that was very. That might have been actually the 90s though. Like you saved gum wrappers or wrappers or like they
Kool-Aid Jammer or the Kool-Aid Jammers.
yeah, the Kool-Aid ones, they would like sew the whole Kool-Aid thing together. Yeah, that was very big. Lindsay says he was the first designer to use lycra in evening wear, and
Interesting.
he designed his own fabric patterns. So Lindsay, we need to have you on for like history of fashion day.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Here's something else that I want to do, and there are free classes, like kind of college classes, sort of on Future Learn, and they have like business classes and stuff now. And I was wondering, like, if people would be. I mean, I know it'd be a lot harder for you since you only have one day off, but like have a class that people are interested in. Like a lot of people are interested in SEO, how to like increase their search engine abilities. So like everybody that's interested in that, sign up for the class. And
Mhm.
then instead of just doing the discussions on that page, we could have a live. And like once a week, everybody comes on and we do the discussion of that week's, kind of lesson, and like how did you implement that into your use. There's also some for there was one that I saw that was like figuring out your pricing strategy.
Mhm.
That might be a good one for people to do. But I don't know how that would work for, like, if people would be interested in that or not. She already said that about the fabric patterns. That's like my favorite. Well, besides the like anything but clothes kind of competition, the on fashion, what is it called, runway, project runway,
Mhm.
they would always have one challenge where you had to design your own print, and then they would print out, like you would draw it out on Photoshop or whatever, and then
I thought that was the coolest thing.
those were awesome. I love the create your own print, and then I love the unconventional, that's what they call it, the unconventional challenges were all, I love unconventional challenges. And it would be fun to, like, in a way, maybe to take some of our stuff that doesn't work and figure out a way to add in other stuff and make something out of it. But we just don't have time. We're not even getting stuff listed.
Hey, do you know anything about have you ever heard of the brand Skywalker Monkey King? I got this shirt today. I couldn't find anything. I don't know. But here's the tag. It looks like that. And but it's a picture of like a monkey and it's like bedazzled and like I bet it's like
And he looks very angry. It's a very angry monkey.
but it's got like all these crystals on it. It looks like and it
Monkey,
feels
wait, it says monkey, and then what's underneath? It's like
Monkey King and it says the same thing right here. Skywalker Monkey King. And I don't know, I've never heard of it, but I
it's
couldn't leave
probably
it
going to be worth
behind.
a lot of money.
That's what I'm thinking because I bet those are like Swarovski crystals. Look at them. This shirt feels like uber high quality.
If those are Swarovski crystals, that's like ridiculously expensive shirt.
I know.
Did you Google it?
I did, and I can't find anything. And I don't know. The only thing that pops up is hold on. It's like um Monkey King shirt, but like Skywalker's not on there, so I don't know. And it's not the same. And then Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker clothing. And like that's the only thing that pops up when I put Skywalker Monkey King shirt.
Did you try the Google Lens?
No, I didn't. Not
Then you
yet.
look
I
at,
just got it.
well,
So,
wait, hold it up. Take a picture with Google Lens and see what Google Lens says.
but it's like the best feeling t-shirt that I've ever felt.
What's it made of? Is it like viscose? Like maybe it's bamboo.
Um,
The
I don't
one
know. The stitching is amazing.
I think bamboo is like the softest.
It's well, it's in another language. So,
Okay, that one you can use the Google Lens and
mhm.
translate. I love doing that. That's like my one of my favorite things. It's like when I get an outfit that it's in another language, just take your Google Lens and and then you have options along the bottom and choose translate,
Mhm.
and it'll tell you what that says.
But I bet it has something to do with because I think Monkey King is like an anime thing.
It could be, but I would think Skywalker kind of.
But yeah, but Skywalker's on the tag though, so I don't know. But the tag it feels really nice too. It's satin. It's like stitched on perfect, and I don't know.
I got a sweatshirt in like 3 boxes ago of 200 pounds. And I just liked it because I thought it was cool. And it's like decapitated teddy bear on the
What?
front, and it looks like the patches, like where they're 3-dimensional, and you can kind of rub them. It looks like needlework, but it's like a teddy bear, and then like the teddy bear head is on the side. And
Ooh.
I thought it was so funny. It's Palm Angel, and I guess the sweatshirt is like $750 new.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. So sometimes the craziest stuff is worth the most. Oh, iridescent. Does it change when you rub it?
No, it's just like that metal. But oh man, I just realized there's a piece missing. A little bitty piece, but you can't really see it.
It's 1 pixel. Just put one.
Yeah.
It's
It feels good.
That's cute.
I found some Lululemon. Do you know the style of these by chance? I know nothing about Lululemon.
I get Lululemon in my.
They're like just like a lounge pant. They're not even like the regular material.
I use Google Lens, and there's a site called Lulu Fanatics.
Yeah.
That's the only place I can figure out what my.
But they only had it priced at $2.99.
Oh, that's nice.
But there's a couple of snags or whatever, but I think I can sweater shave that off.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't seen that before. It almost looks like a paper bag top.
I don't even know what size they are yet.
I've got a couple of things where it's like there's not a dot in it, but people have said like there's something on the inside of the cuff. It's supposed to tell you what the size is. It's like some kind of code.
Yeah, I think they started doing bars. I don't know. I don't see anything though. Maybe they're fake. I don't know.
Is that a metal or a printed logo?
Oh, it's just like textured. And
okay, so it's like the iron-on kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Feels like rubber a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know for sure, but I always assume like if it's got the little metal sew-on ones that it's worth more. I don't know. I got a couple really good Lululemon jackets in this last box, but we're going into spring, summer, so I don't know how they'll do. I may just save those for fall and see what happens. But a lot of people, they sell year round and they do fine with it. And it's hard for me with seasons because it's like it's always hot. It's like we had like the most winter days this past year. I think we had like 2 weeks of cold weather.
But what do you consider cold?
Well, we actually had days where it went into the 50s. But I'm almost at the equator, so 50 when you're this close to the equator, that's freaking cold. So like normally our winters are like 60s, 70s. So yeah, it's cold for us. People around here, it hits 70 and people are in like scarves and, winter jackets.
Okay. I probably need to get off of here.
Yeah, I need to.
It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours we've been talking, and we have 4 people that have hung out with us for that 2.5 hours. And I'm not sure how many have hung around with us up on Instagram since they can only see me and they can't see you. But maybe we'll
I talk loud enough for them to hear me.
You're probably loud enough for them to hear you. So we've had a couple people come through, it looks like up there. I'm sorry, guys. I have my reading glasses on, but I can't see that far away. So I have to figure that out. That's the one thing I have. But we were on long enough that it killed my lights. That's
Mhm. And I said, I can't, gotta be quick. Here I am.
see what happens.
No,
Okay, so
I'm,
you're gonna have to make a date, and you're gonna have to like walk me through a live cell. And
I still don't know what I'm doing.
well, I won't either, but I just know that I need to get like some summer stuff too.
Yeah, I try to be as prepared as I was, but there's still stuff that you're not prepared for. Like I did these little note cards. I put what it was, the size. I put the measurements of everything because I didn't want to stop and measure things.
Yeah.
So if anybody asked, I'd have them ready. But then I kept them in order. But then I started showing stuff out of order, you know.
Oh
And I
no.
kept them, they were numbered. And so I kept them in order and then I'd have to flip through them and then I'd drop them in the floor. And I was just a big old hot mess. I was a hot mess. I'm like, wait, go ahead, Lori. I'm looking for my card.
Okay, so I've got to. You made me have like a mental picture of something. Get just the ring like from a binder.
I thought about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then just put the holes, punch holes in it.
But I didn't have a hole puncher at the time, you know. When I realized I probably should do that, I didn't have a hole puncher. So I think what I'm going to do though next time is I just bought some sticky notes. I'm going to stick it to the item. If somebody buys it, I'll write their name on the back.
That's a good idea because then that way you've got the information and you can put their name right there. You got both things taken care of. Except for you got to make sure you got really good sticky notes.
I bought the Post-it brand.
I know, but you know, when they're all on the floor, well, I guess it would be okay because if they fall on the floor, on the one side you've got what the item is and their name.
Yeah, well, I've got the little cards that are still going to be on the hangers, and I'm just going to stick them to the back of the card. That way it has a surface to stick to. So
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
it's going to be trial and error, I think. And I think, see, we were doing like 1-and-1, like I'd show one, she show one, but I think maybe next time we may do like 3. I'll do 3, a block of 3 or a block of 5 or something, and then she can get 3 ready for the next
right,
one.
and then that gets you able to put those things aside. Yeah, that's.
And then I'd moderate the the chat as well, just in case somebody bought something or some, I don't know, somebody had any questions.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's trial and error.
I could be your moderator while you guys do it. And
see, I thought about that. I thought about having, because I watched what is her name, Renee, fashion thrifter or fashionista. I forget her name on Instagram, but she had Rocky do it, the thread man. He offered to do it and he did an amazing job. So whenever they said what item it was, and say I like Bob Mackie size medium red shirt, and then they type it in and put the number and put how much right there, that way. Because if you don't have the price that you want wrote down ahead of time, if somebody asks again, you could say something totally different. And I was terrified that I was going to say something, like I'd say $20, and then when they'd ask me again, I'd say 25, or I'd say, okay, well, I don't want to say something that's wrong, so I'm going to go lower, like I did with Sandra.
Like $25 instead of $35.
I know. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
So
that sounds good. Yeah, let me know. I could do that. When are you doing your next one?
I don't know. I haven't got back with her. And we were supposed to tell each other several days
you're
ago.
relying on Lori.
Yeah, her phone is overheating. She got a brand new phone and it overheated. Yeah, it overheated.
Told me that she was coming to my house and I haven't seen her. Yeah. I live down this. I mean, I literally live 3 houses away from her. I mean, they're spread out.
Well, she's on Clubhouse right now, so
yeah. See, she spends all her time in Clubhouse.
Well, you can do other things while you listen. I've been listening to Clubhouse a lot. In fact, right now I want to be in that Clubhouse room watching that live, listen to the live sale. But I also want to be watching Hope's live, her Sunday sip is
Oh,
going on
Hope's
right now.
still
So we
alive?
need to get off of here.
Yeah, let's get off here. Everybody go over to Hope's channel, which is
Racks to riches.
Riches. Racks to Riches. Let's go over and get to Hope's shop. I'm gonna do that. Good. Bye, Wendy. See you over in Hope's.